Mariners fans, is it time to panic?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
After an Angels series that didn't quite go the way we were hoping it would go, the Mariners have 15-16 games left until the playoffs. Julio Rodriguez has been out a few games with a lower back tightness diagnosis. We have Eugenio Suarez, who just went on the IL with a fractured index finger. We have Mitch Haniger, who has not been healthy all year. His back has been hurting. He is back in the lineup as of Sunday, but for how long and how useful is he going to be? Raleigh has also been in and out of the lineup over the past series or so with some sort of jammed wrist or finger or something when he slid in head first to first base. Don't slide head first into first base. The question is our worst nightmare coming true for the Seattle Mariners in 2022? And let me give you a little bit of room to breathe here. As of Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m., the Mariners have a 5-game lead on the Baltimore Orioles, a 6-game lead on the White Sox, and realistically, the lead on the Orioles is also a 6-game lead. This, of course, because they have won the season series with the Orioles, and they are currently a half game behind the Rays and 2 games on Toronto. The good news here being is that Toronto is finishing up their series with the Orioles today, so theoretically if they beat the Orioles, the Mariners are still in a good position with only, 16, 17 games left to play in the season, and then they also have a 4-game series coming up against the Rays this coming weekend, which again, somebody has to lose those games. So no matter what, the Mariners are going to be doing okay. Even if the Blue Jays win all 4, that means the Rays are going to lose all 4, and the Mariners, if they just go 500 over that time period, are going to overtake the Rays. Vice versa, if the Rays take all 4, then they're going to be 2 up on the Blue Jays, and then the Blue Jays will be in the same spot the Rays are, and again, the Mariners will be looking all right. The Blue Jays also finished the year against the Orioles, and if, again, they can go ahead and take care of the Orioles, the Mariners are sitting pretty, man, and even if the Orioles win those games, well, there's a good chance that means the Mariners would overtake the Blue Jays. As of right now, the Mariners have a 99.5% chance of making the playoffs. Obviously, the rest of the division has a 0% chance. They suck butts, even though the Angels, we don't want to talk about it. The Mariners actually have better odds at making the playoffs right now than the division-leading Guardians in the AL Central. They're also higher on that list than the Rays and the Orioles. So realistically, folks, the Mariners are still sitting pretty good, but with these injuries, what does that mean for the rest of the season? If Eugenio Suarez has to sit out, let's say, pretty much every game until the last series of the year, and when he comes back, there's a good chance he's only going to be DHing, meaning that we have to have Abraham Toro or Dylan Moore in the lineup every day at third base. I'm just not sure that's a recipe for success. If you were to put Ty France over at third base, is he a defensive liability for the Mariners at that point as well? Theoretically speaking, Mitch Haniger might be coming back a little bit too early from his back problems. They said they're still not 100% sure at where Mitch is at, and he hasn't looked good in general at the plate lately, so is it better to have somebody like Taylor Trammell or Sam Haggerty in right field than Mitch Haniger at this point? Is Mitch just so hurt that he's not going to be able to perform in the field or batting third in your lineup? And if Raleigh is hurt and can't perform, you are looking at Curt Casali playing catcher every single day. And while he's a fine backup catcher, no matter what you guys say, he's a fine backup catcher. There's a reason that Cal is getting almost every start. His bat is invaluable to this lineup, and Curt Casali just doesn't bring that kind of punch. Did Julio hurt his back in batting practice, or did Julio hurt his back picking up Carlos Santana, who has been hot as the sun lately every time he hits a home run? We'll never really know. However, is this going to hurt Julio's production as of late? He has been so good in the month of September. He has been the Mariners' carrying force along with Eugenio Suarez for the last couple of weeks. And going into a possible playoff run for the first time in 20 years, you really hate to see all these guys going down with injury this late in the season. Again, at the time of recording this, it is Sunday. It's now 10:40 a.m. And there's a good chance that we could have Julio back in the lineup as early as Monday. Maybe he could even pinch hit in Sunday's game. I'm recording this before either of those games goes live. But the fact of the matter is, losing Eugenio Suarez really hurts the team as a whole. You can't tell me that a lineup like this does not remind you of a 2010 Seattle Mariners lineup. I mean, come on. Adam Frazier needs to pick it up. Jesse Winker needs to pick it up. He's not even in this lineup today. And by golly, it's just going to be really hard to watch. Two of the major key signings the Mariners made last offseason have not produced at all in Adam Frazier and Jesse Winker. Now, if we're looking at a bit of a silver lining here, Ryan Divish says Julio said he will be fine and just a few days to get his back feeling better. He wanted to make sure he didn't miss any more time. Good for him. Good for Julio, making sure he gets himself healthy before he goes out there and tries to make the playoffs with the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners did say that if there was ever a time for guys to make up for the other missing players on the team, it was now. He said that Toro will get the initial reps at third base, with Jake Lamb and Dylan Moore seeing more time, and of course with Ty France working out at third, obviously Santana at first base gives you more opportunity to put Haniger at the DH role. Of course, we'd rather not have Ty France at third base, but it is what it is. It truly is just time for these guys to take advantage of the opportunity that was handed to them, including Taylor Trammell's home run the other night against the Angels, absolutely smashed. And Taylor Trammell is someone who I really want to see get more playing time, as he was okay at the start of this season, and I would rather have him in left field right now than Jesse Winker. Especially if you need Mitch DHing quite a bit. I think that putting Taylor Trammell in right field is just the right thing to do. Defensively, he's going to be better than Jesse Winker anywhere in the outfield. Haggerty can play left, and I just think that these guys are going to need to take this chance and run with it. Toro is going to be in the lineup pretty much every day. We know that. We need to get Toro going. He was so good in 2021, and I think that if we're panicking right now, man, if we have to watch Abraham Toro be the same Abraham Toro he was at the start of this year, we're in for a tough time. So back to the original question. Is it time to panic as a Mariners fan? In my opinion, not yet. If we start to see these guys have injuries a little bit further on, a little bit closer to the playoffs, then yes. If Julio's back injury lingers, if Mitch's back injury lingers, if Cal Raleigh can't go out there and catch every single day, we're in trouble. But otherwise, I look at it exactly how Scott Servais does. Scott said, unfortunately, shit happens. And he's right. Shit does happen, and that is what is going on with the Mariners right now. It's just unfortunate timing. And again, the pessimism inside of all of us Mariners fans is what's getting to us the most. And you don't need me to tell you how important someone like Julio Rodriguez has been to this Mariners team, but I think you need somebody like Joe to tell you just how good he is compared to every other Mariners rookie in history. Go ahead and check out that video on the screen now. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and go freaking Mariners.